So let's go. Convergence method, depending on where you're watching this from, because I clip the topics out and then they're syndicated who knows where. So if you happen to be just discovering us, well, just go to the website right there. You'll find archives of the past show, upcoming shows. The app is on there that you can download as well. It's got some meditations on it that you can get as well. Convergence is about embracing, working with feminine energy flow. Feminine energy flow, one of the descriptors for it is it's sensual energy. And what do I mean by that? You feel it, right? You feel that energy. Now, this really flows nicely into keeping yourself anchored or grounded when you're meditating and or visualizing. And it kind of went in the same thing, really. The meditation kind of creates the platform or the space where you visualize your desires within. This is something that, boy, I learned, discovered early on. So often when you're meditating, whatever that looks like, your eyes are closed, right? You close your eyes. And so for me, kind of often the intro to whatever it may be is I'll say, eyes closed, nice deep breaths. Now, the eyes closed is really handy because it shuts out all this extraneous information, right? And of course, the deep breathing helps you bring your focus into your body. And why is that important? Because your body is always present moment. Why is that important? Because all your power to introduce change is in the present moment. Now, what I discovered, sometimes, not all the time, when I'd be meditating, especially if it was with a purpose. So what I mean by that is, let's say, visualizing. So you're visualizing your desires. So those of you who have purchased the Manifesting Home Study, been in the workshops, anything like that, it's a 5-step process. First step is creating your desire, constructing that. Second one is living your desire on the inside, feeling it, which is kind of what this fits into. Step 3 is managing resistances. Step 4 is taking inspired action. Step 5 is celebrating your victories. So this would fit into step 2, which is living your desire on the inside. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you create that visualization, you kind of roll it over in your awareness. You want to create those sensations in your body that feel good, which kind of fits in with the topic of the show. Because here's what I found would happen. So you close your eyes, you're focusing on your breath, and that's all really cool. Then you start to visualize. And then it's like you sort of wonder. And you may end up finding yourself reliving a past event, reliving a future event, or even having other visualizations, if you will, show up that distract you from what you're trying to focus on. So because you've closed your eyes and you've shut out one of the primary stimulus that we use, it kind of is a two-edged sword. By shutting that out, you're able to travel, if you want to use that word. But by shutting it out, you're able to travel. And so what can happen, I find, is your focus starts to leave this present moment, and you end up again either reliving, and often this is often the way it works. So you're visualizing, right? And you're just kind of feeling good and things like that. And you're feeling good, right? You're daydreaming, right? Creating those pictures, those images in your mind that you feel good in your body. And then often what happens is something from the past is going to find you that contradicts the visualization or the purpose of that visualization. Okay, does that make sense? So your vision, let's say it's, well, we'll use you want to release a few extra pounds, right? Time to get in shape, do all this kind of stuff. So you're visualizing that. You're visualizing you're running on the beach, or you're whatever it is for you that symbolizes that health and wellness, that type of thing. So you're doing that, and as you do that, it starts to feel good. So then here comes these memories. They come in that usually contradict the direction you want to go. So it's like you're going in this direction. These things come in to try and knock you off track. Neville Goddard, you've often heard me refer to him, and he's not the only one. He's one of the earlier ones. that one of the things he talks about is just completely ignoring any evidence that contradicts the direction you want to go with your visualization, either externally or through the thoughts that show up in your head. And so this is something that I found is handy. By choosing a physical anchor, shoot, I should have picked one. Well, we'll use this as an example. It doesn't really matter what it is. By choosing a physical anchor, a pair of sunglasses, and if you're just even something like this, let's see if I can find something a little bit better than that. And of course, there's well, let me see. There's got to be something like it. Hold on, let me check. Oh yeah, here's something I can use. We'll just use this. Oh, this will work. Okay, hold on. I'm back. Hold on. Okay. Sweetgrass. Right. Now, when you're meditating, just take this and just hold it. And even they're kind of like, I don't know, prayer beads or meditation beads, I guess, maybe. So just hold it in your hands and just kind of gently, and this is just an example, right? So I'm just kind of gently touching it, if you want to, if you will. As my eyes are closed, and maybe I'm visualizing, or maybe I'm just meditating and I just want to kind of still my mind and not go wandering off here, wandering off here, or wandering off here. So I find by having this, it's just enough of a physical anchor that it doesn't distract you. So it still allows you to expand and your awareness to grow, but it keeps that bit of an anchor into the present moment. So you don't start wandering off in somewhere you don't want to be. I guess another way to think of this is this could be like the tail of a kite, right? So the tail of a kite allows the kite to ascend, but it just helps manage it. Because if you cut the string off the kite, you're just going to go down it goes, right? So this is very similar to that. By having that physical anchor, it allows you to still lift off, think of the kite, but this just helps you keep tethered a little bit. Or if it's, you could, so if you're manifesting, you're using your visualization to manifest, you can choose, I'll just use this as an example. Let's say I don't know, picked this on my own. I didn't. And I really love where I got this from. So I want to manifest another trip back there. So what I could do is I could choose this to symbolize this next trip to wherever this place is. So then as you're visualizing that, you're also having this physical anchor that you've chosen to symbolize that desire. So again, it helps you to not, it doesn't prevent you or hamper the visualization and allowing that just to kind of play out in your mind. But what it does is it helps keep a little bit of that tether here in the present moment. So then you don't kind of go off over here into all the times it didn't work before and all these memories that show up or all these perceived futures or all this kind of stuff. It's just that little bit of a physical tether to help keep you here. Now, another way to do that when you're meditating is meditate with your eyes open. Now, if you're in a busy spot or in a room full of people, this is probably not going to work too well. But if you're alone, you hear like meditating on a candle or something like that. So by having that physical focus point and just sort of holding your focus on it gently, right? So you're not, but just kind of holding your focus on it gently. It's really interesting how your awareness can continue to expand. But by having that little bit of an anchor, I find it actually allows you to expand greater, faster. But again, it's like that tail on the kite. So you don't start to wander. Your attention doesn't start to wander because, again, your eyes are closed. Well, you can go anywhere. But if your eyes are open, they kind of help keep that anchor right in this present moment. Anyway, that was kind of my, I don't know, manifesting tip, if you want to call it that. Works really well. So using that physical anchor, either when you're meditating, something like this, or if you're manifesting, choosing this to represent the desire, and then just kind of keep that, in this case, you're touching it or even looking at it, helps you keep that little bit of an anchor as you grow, expand, evolve. All right, guys, that was a bit of a shortened show, but it was kind of in my awareness for the last few days, and I wanted to get it out there. So see you on the web.